I would just say quickly, if you are not familiar with FRAC, we are a national organization that is based in DC, but of course everybody is working remotely right now. And our goal really is to increase participation in all of the federal nutrition programs through technical assistance, research, and policy. So obviously we have been very focused on the response to COVID over the last 5 months. Next slide, Jimmy. So I wanted to focus my remarks on the role of the after-school meal program and where we are seeing this program go. So both in the spring and then now. So we know that, of course, during the summer, there were many lessons learned that will continue into the school year. But one thing that I did want to flag is that we know that, when schools closed, many nonprofit partners and many out-of-school time partners really stepped into the shift from providing after-school meals to the summer nutrition programs. And we know just from what we're hearing on the ground that many of them actually were able to, fill those underserved areas and really help schools if they had to close or, limit their participation in any way. So we know, obviously, that the school day is going to look very different, and with that, the after-school meal program and programs in general will as well. So I wanted to just raise a recent survey from our partners at the After School Alliance that showed that 84% of after-school programs are concerned that they won't be able to provide the same level of services in the fall. So one flag that I would just give is, as we're thinking about meals and as we're thinking about, back to school, making sure that those after-school programs that you work with during a normal time are supported and pulled into your planning. And I would say that our partners at the After School Alliance are a great resource for this. And if you do any kind of advocacy or policy, they are really leading the charge on support around after-school programs. So one thing that I wanted to just mention is the after-school activity. So I know that Liz from USDA mentioned the Q&A that went up on Friday, and Nicole mentioned what they are planning to do around after-school meals. So obviously, again, this will look very different, but we do know that there will be some flexibility around the after-school activity. So just briefly from the Q&A, if you haven't had a chance to look through that, it does say that while the after-school activity is required, it can be conducted virtually or in other non-congregate ways. So that includes, online homework help, activity packets, which again, Nicole mentioned, or other e-learning activities. So although it will take some logistics and adjusting, we are happy to see that there is flexibility around that after-school activity requirement piece. And I would just say, too, that there are many resources out there for activities and for, online enrichment, and that's something that we at FRAC are working to compile into a very handy resource. And I would just flag to always check in with your state agency before making any changes to your program around after-school meals. So just, closing up here, I would just say that, as you look into, or as you go into the new school year, to make sure that you are connecting with the Boys and Girls and the Parks and Rec and the YMCAs and the 21st Century programs that are in your community, to make sure that, they are aware of changes, that they are brought to the table for this conversation, because we know that the after-school meal program has had a lot of success and has continued to grow up until this point. So we want to make sure that the support and resources are still there. So quickly, just in closing, I just want to share a couple of our resources. So we do have our ongoing webinars that we host, as well as a newsletter, and then we have many new resources that we have created just for COVID. So I have them listed here. I won't spend too much time going into them, but we are tracking state guidance and then putting out different models and program resources. So I have my contact information here. I'm always happy to connect after the webinar. So I'll leave it here and turn it back over to Jimmy, just in the interest of time. But thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Clarissa. And I think some of your webinars are recorded, and do you post them on your website? There were some questions about presentations about at-risk after-school meals, and I think you just did a webinar on that topic. Is that correct?
We did, yes. That was before. But yes, everything is up on our website, frac.org.